Hey everybody, it's Jared Miller with Big Mo Motorsports. I was planning on doing this anyway, but I also got a request to see our shop and to see kind of what we've built here. As some of you might know, we built a shop about 6 months ago. We moved into a new house about a year and a half ago, or a year and 3 months ago, and with the plan that we were going to build a second garage in order to house the toys and all that stuff. So this is the shop right now. It's 24 feet wide, 31 feet deep. It's got, I think, 10-foot ceilings here, so fairly high. Double car garage, or two-car garage door, double wide, whatever. We had it built, and they just did the construction. They did the concrete and the construction of the building. I'm doing all the electrical and everything else that goes with that. We also did our own epoxy on the floor here, and did that ourselves. That was actually easier than what we thought. Didn't maybe come out as nice as I had thought. We had some bubbling in some areas, but it's not too bad. So anyway, things to know right now at the stage is we only temporarily have electrical. So I know we've got a lot of lights, or as my friend would say, we've got the tanning bed for the race cars in here. I kind of went overboard on lighting, but I figured that always pays off in the long run. But right now, all of the electrical in the garage, which really is just lighting and a radio and a fridge, is powered off of extension cords coming from the other garage. So that's our normal garage where we park our everyday vehicles, and we're hoping in 2 weeks to have the electricians come in and put in the sub panel and actually get the main feed in here so that we can finish out the rest of the electrical. The plan then will be to, after the electrical is all completed and we have all the outlets in and all that jazz, is to put insulation on the walls and then put some sort of wall covering. And I haven't decided what to do, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be drywall. I don't know if it's going to be pegboard, don't know if it's going to be plywood, don't quite know what we're going to do there, but we'll get into that in the future. But anyway, just kind of tour of the garage here. It's not that big, but again, it's disorganized right now because everything's going to have to come away from the walls in order to finish the electrical in the walls. So I haven't, everything doesn't exactly have its perfect place yet, but from an overall garage standpoint, you can see here we've got, this is the, not really a chassis jig, I guess like a setup rack that we built last year. Really it's just a leveling platform that has pockets for the scales and a little ramp here. Makes it easy for me to get the car up and down from there. Allows us to check setups easy. This is the car post Saturday night. I haven't done anything yet for this next race, but I put it up there after every race, kind of see where we ended the race at, document all that so I can go back to there if we want to. So this is kind of the whole setup area here. We've got a setup toolbox, obviously the scales and all that kind of stuff right here. Then as part of that, we've got just kind of an area on the floor marked out for doing ride heights and measuring things like that. I was able to actually get the concrete folks to pour a level concrete pad in here. So while it's not perfect, it's actually more level, whereas most garages actually slope out to the opening due to rain, but I don't anticipate parking anything in here that's going to be bringing snow or slush or anything like that. So that's what that's for here. You can see here we've got, this is our backup car, quote unquote, but this is the first car that we bought, 37 sedan. We're actually putting it back together right now with the hopes of either running it on dirt or maybe just selling it just to kind of get some extra money. But we had a bunch of extra parts, have a backup motor, so we'll put this whole puppy together and either sell it to someone cheap or take it out and play it in the dirt and then sell it to someone cheap. I don't know. We'll see. But the idea is to really just get rid of a lot of the extra spare parts that we've got in here. You can see in the back here we've got some shelving racks that are kind of organized, kind of not. Again, all this stuff will be reorganized again once we do the walls and the electrical. But I do kind of have an organizational plan. It may not look like it, but when we get to the end, you'll see that. The idea is that the electrical panel will go behind the door there, or the roof there from last year's body. And then we'll be able to run the electrical everywhere else. You can see the vent right there that we had installed when they built the thing, so that heating wise, it'll I don't need to cut a hole in the roof now after the fact. Let's see, this is going to be the workbench area. Obviously we have a workbench there right now. It'll all be moved around once we do the walls. A couple toolboxes that fit under the workbench right now. The mandatory refreshment refrigerator with beers from around the country here, little radio, things like that. Another little shelving rack here, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Again, we've got some things like in these boxes are overhead cabinets that will be placed up over the toolbox area. Need to wait for the walls to get done with all that kind of stuff. This cabinet will probably be moved over there somewhere. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But one of the things that we did do when we built this was we're in a residential neighborhood. So, you know, keeping your trailer here and all that kind of stuff became an issue. I was able to work with the city and able to get authorized for me to park my trailer beside my garage here. So one of the things that we did was build a concrete pad, and we'll come outside. You can see we've got a concrete pad there beside the garage. That literally allows us to just park the trailer right there. We need to add some trees yet over here so that the neighbors aren't staring at the ugly trailer all day. Put some lights up in the soffits there to help back in the trailer in at night, things like that. So all in all, it's it works out pretty good. You can kind of get an idea of there's our current garage, second garage, little parking area. So what I'll do is once we get further along, like once we get more electrical done or insulation done or something, I'll do another walkthrough once it's organized a little bit more and give you guys an idea of what we're doing there. All right? If you have any questions, want to know what it cost, what it took, how long it took, how hard the floors were, whatever, any of that kind of information, just get a hold of us on Facebook at Big Mill Racing, or at Big Mill Motorsports on Facebook, or at Big Mill Racing on Twitter. All right? Thank you.